You're watching Satluj TV News. I'm Angus Scott in London. The director of the FBI has warned the agency is aware of foreign powers currently threatening its minority citizens, particularly Sikhs, on US soil. In a speech yesterday, FBI Director Christopher Wray warned that the US government was aware of what he called transnational repression. This is the FBI's term for foreign malign governments intimidating and oppressing their political opponents in other countries. His comments come in response to a question posed by Congressman Eric Swalwell on behalf of his Sikh constituent Pritpal Singh, co-chair of the American Sikh Congressional Caucus. Singh had previously been warned by the FBI of death threats against him by Hindutva extremists acting on behalf of the Indian government. The FBI director acknowledged there was a current increase in threats and violence against minorities like the Sikh community.
Part of what you're describing involves an increase in violence and threats against people for their views, for their beliefs. For example, the transnational repression that we talk about so much is certainly a variation of that. And we've seen that from the Chinese and the Iranians, for example. But when it comes to the Sikh community here, we do have quite a number of efforts to engage in outreach, to raise awareness about who to call, what to be on the lookout for, to understand what a hate crime is, for example.
Director Wray also acknowledged that hate crimes against Sikhs had been, in his words, chronically underreported, and the agency was working hard to ensure the community knew how to deal and report with such incidents. But more pertinently, the director then advised that the FBI, along with intelligence agencies, were now working to preemptively deal with threats against Sikhs before any incident could occur.
Tried to kind of raise awareness, and it kind of ties into your broader point about the intelligence community in terms of prevention, quietly preventing things. You know, our vision statement is ahead of the threat. And if we are successful in being ahead of the threat, of course, the threat doesn't end up coming to fruition.
This year, many members of the Sikh community across the diaspora have received warnings from both law enforcement and intelligence agencies in the US, UK and Canada of threats against their safety coming from Hindutva extremists. With the recent murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada by agents of the Indian government, the FBI are now taking more seriously the danger of transnational repression against Sikhs coming from the Indian government. Their belief now is that the awareness of the threat will deter India from taking steps to further harm or intimidate Sikhs living overseas. You've been watching Satluj TV News. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button to make sure you get to see stories as they're broadcast. And of course, if you have any comments or opinions on any of our news stories, please do comment below, or indeed drop us a direct message at message@satlujtv.com. We would love to hear from you. In the meantime, thanks for watching for Satluj TV News. I'm Angus Scott in London.